Good evening. Tonight, as we celebrate Federation's 120th anniversary, I find myself holding two truths at once: pride in how far we've come, and tremendous clarity about what this moment calls for us to do as a community. For 120 years, Federation has helped to care for, connect, and strengthen Jewish life here in Atlanta, in Israel, and around the world. That legacy happened by people who understood something fundamental. Jewish communities do not sustain themselves automatically. Every generation must choose to build them, and now is our turn. This year has been one of both extraordinary hope and resilience, and also extraordinary pain. For the first quarter of the year, we were still advocating for the release of our hostages. We've experienced the anguish of war, the rise of anti-Semitism, and growing concerns about safety and belonging. At the same time, we have seen something so powerful, a renewed sense of Jewish pride, responsibility, and commitment. And Jewish Atlanta has stepped up in all of these areas. One great example of this is security. I take so much pride in the fact that Atlanta is recognized nationally as a model community for keeping people safe. But behind every secure synagogue, school, camp, and Jewish institution are people who have made it their mission to protect others. With more than 75 facilities in Jewish Atlanta, that work takes vigilance, it takes partnership, and it takes deep community commitment. If this year has taught us anything, it's that we can't take Jewish life for granted. At the same time, it has reminded us what Federation can make possible when a community comes together with purpose. Because of your generosity, and because of the amazing professional team that I have the privilege of working with every day, and I just want to take 1 second and recognize them. If you guys will please stand for 1 second. Because of your generosity, more than 1,200 older adults and their loved ones received critical care. Hundreds of families received emergency assistance. Holocaust survivors are cared for with dignity and compassion. And in a few moments, through the Mary and Max London People Power Award and the Tikkun Olam Award, we will have a chance to recognize individuals who show us that this responsibility for caring for others is central to Jewish life. In addition to increasing our security posture this year, we launched the Anti-Semitism Response Network, and we hired our first director. Because responding to anti-Semitism today requires a lot more than just outrage. It requires coordination, expertise, partnership, and sustained community leadership. We stood with our brothers and sisters in Israel, not just with words, but in action, through investments in trauma care, rebuilding, mental health efforts, and through direct relationships with Israelis who every single day are still facing so many challenges with so much courage and so much resilience. We invested deeply in Jewish engagement and belonging across every stage of life, with more embedded community connectors who are meeting people where they are and helping them find meaningful access and meaningful connections into our Jewish community at a time when it matters most. And of course, we continued to strengthen Jewish education by supporting students and educators in our schools, our camps, and our other immersive programs that shaped the future of Jewish identity and Jewish leadership. which is why in a few moments, we will also have the opportunity to recognize the award winners from our Sylvia Newman Memorial Teachers of the Year Award. Two educators who very quietly but profoundly shape our Jewish future every single day. But if we're honest, simply protecting and continuing Jewish life isn't enough. We need to build more. Atlanta is growing. Jewish Atlanta is growing too, and we have an enormous opportunity in front of us. The question now is whether our infrastructure, our institutions, and yes, our philanthropy are prepared to grow with it. Because the scale of growth and opportunity in front of us must be met by a corresponding scale of ambition and philanthropy. Our Jewish community cannot just be preserved. It needs to be built intentionally. I believe that one of the greatest opportunities and challenges in front of us is ensuring that every Jewish family and every Jewish child has access to meaningful Jewish experiences. Jewish education, Jewish camp, Jewish immersive experiences, Jewish connection, these are not luxuries. They are foundational. And we must be a community that is ambitious enough to imagine a future where every family can access these experiences regardless of financial circumstance. I believe that Federation has a responsibility to lead that conversation and ultimately to make that future possible, because it's not enough to just protect Jewish life. We need to grow it. Which is why I'm also so excited that this year, very soon, we'll be launching a community study. For the first time in 20 years, we will have access to real, deep data to help us understand who Jewish Atlanta is today. Who are we reaching? Who are we missing? Where do people feel connected? More importantly, what are the barriers to Jewish life? What does this community need for the years ahead? That data matters because planning matters. The strongest Jewish communities are not built accidentally. They're built intentionally, strategically, and collaboratively. So yes, tonight we celebrate how far we've come in 120 years, and I've watched how far this community has come in just the decades I've been growing up here. But at the same time, and perhaps more importantly, we recommit ourselves to what we need to do for what this community needs to be for the next 120 years. A community that is safe, a Jewish community that is caring, a community that is accessible, a community that continues to grow, and a community that is confident enough to dream about bigger possibilities. And finally, tonight we will have the opportunity, oh, there she is, to honor a leader who has been modeling this for us for so many years, Linda Seelig. Linda is such an inspiration, not just because of what she has accomplished, but because of the seriousness, the generosity, and the vision with which she takes communal responsibility. We have the community we have today because leaders like Linda helped to build it. So Linda, thank you for everything you've done, and perhaps more importantly, for everything you will continue to do, because the amazing thing about you is that we're giving you a Lifetime of Achievement Award tonight, and yet every single day as you continue your work with the White Rose Society, you are continuing to build that legacy. Mazel tov. The future of Jewish Atlanta will not be built by circumstance. It will be built by the choices that we make together. And I know that our best years are still ahead of us.